9 student athletes.
No, whenever you talk about studies, will you please just refer to me first, just out of respect, because you never did one.
Out of respect.
Paul did a study at Salem State.
He knows about my study.
That a professor claimed to have made himself. But they one of the psychology professors did a study or survey of athletes, and they found 70% of athletes from the hockey program plan to play pro. Mm-hmm. Now, obviously, Division III hockey program, 70% weren't going to go pro. I think in the history of the school, I think one played professional, which was Dick Lambie, who had a nice career with the Blues after he went to the Olympics and then went to Boston University. Other people played in Europe and minor league hockey and all that. But there were people who want the dream. How many people would you say you played college soccer with in your 14-team soccer career? What percentage would you say would be interested in playing pro?
Interested?
Or let's say thought they would play pro, had aspirations.
I would say at D3, it's definitely lower. I think at that level, kids are more looking to like play and then just work.
Okay.
But at the Division I level, I would say probably 90%.
90%.
Pretty much everyone there was like I want to continue playing after college.
Even kids who weren't playing a lot.
Yeah.
Because they just have the dream.
Yeah.
True. And what do you see for yourself? Where do you see it going for you?
To be honest, before I signed my first contract, I told myself this was the last shot, and if I get hurt again, I'm done. And now I'm hurt again, and I'm basically trying to decide what I'll do, if I'll coach or play. So
now that you met Dave, do you think about going into journalism? Yeah. Easy it is.
But no, I'm definitely content with the fact that ever since I was little, I wanted to sign a professional contract, and I did.
Okay.
So that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Seriously, congratulations.
Thank you.
So, all right. Anything else you can tell us? Any crazy stuff from the minors before we move on to things in the news?
I should have written some stuff down before.
Yeah,
if I can remember,
you should have thought about it before you came here. You had a full hour in the car. What were you doing? Singing show tunes, the two of you?
No, not too much else crazy happened, I guess.
All right.
Overall, it was a good experience.
Well, this is the other thing too. When you play pro, even if you don't play, even if you don't wind up playing MLS, there is. It's funny because you're kind of. I'm sure you've thought about this. On the one hand, if you keep playing, you're not getting a jump on your other career, whatever it is.
Sure.
On the other hand, there are things you learn from when you're not from being a pro athlete. There are things you're going to learn that'll hopefully help you later in life.
Yeah.
So.
And Bryant, there are very few people in the world that can say that they actually get a paycheck from a sport that they loved to play when they were a kid professionally. So congratulations. That's huge.
Yeah.
What have we been nice to him now all of a sudden?
I feel bad for him.
I don't
have to listen to you and Paul talk over him. I feel bad. I'm trying to build his esteem back up after you two destroyed.
I was going to say,
I don't see the last podcast he ever does.
I don't hear Paul saying anything nice about him.
I've enjoyed the journey for him.
Have you enjoyed the journey as a
dad? You have to. Come on.
I go out a few times to watch, and we used to talk to him all the time tell me what happened today, and it's always
to have a kid that's 20 times better than anything you've ever done it's incredible, isn't it?
20 times better.
Seriously, to be a father of a kid who playing pro sports, it's gonna be.
The guy's been on Conan. Did he bring you with him when he was on Conan and say, sit here and cheer for me?
Yeah. Did you give any tips?
I don't even know if I was born. I think it was 97, right? Or was it 2000?
I don't think you want to rub that in. Tell him how long ago it was.
I think it was 97.
What was your father like as a sport parent? Was he a typical soccer parent? Would he sit there and yell at the German coach from the sidelines? And
I feel like early on he did yell a little bit, and then I don't remember the story, but something happened, and then he kind of like.
Did he ever yell, "Run, kick it"?
I got bounced. I got suspended that time.
Yeah,
that's what got me to. I don't think I ever really yelled though.
Wait.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
But I don't think I did anything bad.
I don't think anything bad, but I got suspended and kicked out as a parent.
I didn't yell. I just shot that gun in the air.
I thought as a parent.
That was a coach.
As a coach. That's a different story.
We want to throw you out of these podcasts every once in a while, so I can see that.
I wasn't drinking either. It was just
another story.
Yeah.
When I was drunk.
Yeah. All right, we're going to move on. We're going to move on to current events because I think we're heading out. We must be. What are we at?
You're at 54-24,
Yeah,
Dave.
I thought it was going too long. I thought, we were very interested in you. and we were wondering when you get to something interesting. And
54 minutes.
so here we got 3 current event things that are happening in the world of soccer. And Brian, I think we're going to give you the first one, okay? As a representative of everybody in Gen Z. We talked last week about what will make soccer popular in the U.S. because there are still people that refer to soccer, the 4 major sports and soccer's not in it. Mm-hmm. I think there's a pushback against soccer myself. Why do you think? Or do you think it's just going to happen organically? Do you think your generation will just kind of be so interested in soccer it just becomes one of the 5th sports? Or do you think we'll just go to 54 different channels and there'll be the NFL channel and the soccer channel and the baseball channel and the Netflix? And
I think they need continued success. I don't even think they've really had success yet, like the national team per se. And I think we have the talent in this country to have that success, but I'm not exactly sure Berhalter's the guy to run that team. But yeah, I think they need some deep runs in the major tournaments like the World Cup, the Olympics, stuff like that for it to really catch on.
Do you think people who are your age who don't play soccer care about soccer?
People my age who don't play soccer?
Don't play soccer.
Yeah, I know quite a few people who do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they'd be considered soccer fans. They're not just being fans around you, and then as soon as you leave, you go, oh, thank God.
No, I think like with the emergence again of like sports cards, FIFA, like the video game FIFA.
Yep. Oh,
even like
fun.
Premier League soccer is easily accessible now. It's on so many different channels. You can get it on your phone. But again, I think that's even a little bit of a negative if you look at it because it's not American soccer that everyone's watching. It's English soccer. So if they could do that with the MLS, like it's difficult to find MLS games on TV. You get like one game on ESPN and you get the revs on like the local channel and then that's it.
Okay, let me get to the next one. This one, the U.S. and Bosnia played the U.S. won. They played a friendly over the weekend. Who cares? Jim?
Oh, you're going to jump right on me. That's because everybody who's listening that I told Dave that it was on, by the way, as I was watching it.
I watched the game. It was a good game, but who cares about a friendly?
I really think they can't call it a friendly because it's certainly not going to get people to watch a friendly. I agree with you. Okay. You're being a layman watching TV and you turn on a soccer game and it says friendly.
Yeah, well, we know that they're not that friendly.
And Dave and I get a text from Paul adding Herzegovina to the end of Bosnia, going back to the war-torn country. But
it was on in the middle of NFL Sunday.
It was on the middle of NFL Sunday, and it's called a U.S. friendly, and they've got to stop. They should call it just an international match. They can't have on the screen friendly. I was very disappointed in that. It was a good match.
Yeah, what if it was sponsored by Friendlies? Would you put it up twice? How does that work? Right.
Well, the service is so bad at Friendlies, that might not work either. I'm sorry, Friendlies, just in case you want to be a sponsor of our podcast. But no, Dave, I was very disappointed that it said that. It was a great match. Turner got a shutout. They should have beat them by more than one goal. Boston was playing shorthanded for the last 15 minutes, and it didn't look it. So it was if you did watch it, you were disappointed in our national team. It didn't help any way, shape, or form.
Okay.
Very disappointing.
Final topic. Playing without a striker. Manchester City coach Pep Guardiola has been he's been innovative in the past as a coach, and he's being innovative again. And I know you guys will agree with me. There is nothing better in sports than good formation talk. Here you've got a sport with very little scoring, and the solution is to take away the scorer. He's playing without a striker. It's playing without a striker.
I wrote that joke for Dave.
Yeah, it was good.
Excellent.
This would be like football with no quarterback, or a team that played one of Jim's teams without Jim in net. It's going to hurt your scoring. It's going to hurt your scoring. Paul?
Well, first of all, I love innovation. Okay?
Yeah.
I mean, if it wasn't for innovation, we would still be... Remember the Bills-Pats game when they ran every time?
Yes.
That would be every game.
I know.
Not for the Air Coryells of the world who said we need to open the sport up.
Yep.
Now, so Pep Guardiola, when he first took over Barcelona, was innovative because the world was pushing towards big midfielders. Guys who could make themselves large.
Okay.
And he said, I'm going small. I'm going back to quick. And he won every trophy.
Yep.
So when he got to Man City again, he wanted to be innovative. So last year he was in the finals of the UEFA Urethra tournament. I like the urethra tournament. And he decided to play without a defensive midfielder, which is the 6.
Yes.
The position
A
called the
6.
6.
No 6.
That was stupid. Okay? Some people think that's the most important position on the whole field. No offense to you goalies, but some people think the 6 dictates the flow of the play, switching fields. He is the key to the whole thing. Defensively, offensively, winning all the first and second balls. So they lost the game. I think he almost tries to get too much credit, because if you won that game, you'd look like a genius. Like, oh my gosh, he didn't even play with a 6 and they won. But he didn't win, so he took a lot of criticism. This thing that he's doing is working, because he's, if you watch them, they score a ton of goals and they're exciting to watch. Mm-hmm. But I think if other teams copy it, they're not going to have the talent around the non-striker to score. It's going to backfire. I'm enjoying watching what he's doing.
I hate to have a follow-up question to this, because it means that I'm validating your stupid ideas. But is this an adjustment that he's making because he's trying to show off what a great coach he is, or is this an adjustment to his personnel?
I think it's an adjustment because he had Aguero last year in his final, days. Yeah. He was getting older. He then ended up going to Barcelona, and now he's out forever with a heart thing. Thank you, COVID or vaccine. He's out. Mm-hmm. So I think Man City eventually wants to get a striker, but they didn't replace him right away. So for this season, I think he realized, based on what I have, I'm going to have my striker drop in more. We're just going to try this, and they've been phenomenal. I mean, Jim watched the game the other day. They scored how many goals? They scored a touchdown.
They scored a touchdown on goals.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's interesting.
Looked like me pulling the ball out of the net my whole call.
Like, I'm not smart enough to watch it and realize they're not playing one, but that's what people are saying, that he's so drawn in, he's really not the striker. Evidently, Chelsea's kind of doing it too, and Chelsea's in what place, Bryce? Second? Third?
I was just trying to pull up the table, but I don't have connections.
Yeah, so it's working for teams.
I got to ask Brian a question. Is he like this at home? Is he like this at home?
I usually just listen. Him and one of my other brothers usually discuss topics like that.
You know what it sounds like? It sounds like a guy at a bus station who's just talking.
Wrapped in a newspaper.
But you asked the guy at the bus station the question, so he's answering you.
Yeah, so you're the player.
All right. Any thoughts on a strikerless soccer?
I mean, I think you put it best. If you have the talent around the withdrawn striker, then it works. Like, City is at the top of the league. Looks like they're going to win the league again. But also, to answer your question, I think it is the personnel. I think he doesn't quite trust Gabriel Jesus to play striker. And then the other guy that he would kind of play there, Ferran Torres, I believe he's hurt.
Okay.
Have you ever played on a team that kind of did that? Or did you ever have to play striker and drop in and not really play striker?
Nah, I never played on a team like that.
All right. So from Paul and Bryant,
he played for 5 colleges.
Mm-hmm. What's that?
Yeah, he played for 5 colleges.
Opportunity to
not
do
one
it.
coach told him to drop back.
He's a whole different type of student of the game.
Exactly.
Anyway, so you've heard it from Paul and Bryant Nardizzi, big advocates for kick and run, and
direct. It's called playing direct.
Playing direct. They're not really advocates for kick and run. Anyway, that's it. Anything to add before we wrap it up?
You're not going to ask Jim what he thinks of strike? Just because he played goalie doesn't mean he doesn't understand the
I hate all strikers. They're all strikers.
He hates strikers.
I hate strikers.
They float. They
the only
don't
thing I see during a game, they're always standing in front of me.
Okay.
They're always standing in front. They're always standing in front of them with their arms up, going yes.
As I'm getting the ball out of the net. Yeah.
Dave, your homework this weekend on ESPN.
Yep.
We'll see Bundesliga games. Watch one.
All right, I'll do that. A lot of people will be worried about things like Christmas, but I'll be watching the Bundesliga.
Things like Christmas.
All right.
What's the trap called?
The what?
The trap.
What trap?
That begins with the G. The press, rather.
Oh, the Geegen press.
Yeah,
The
let's put
Geegen
the
press.
Gegenpress.
The Geegen press.
Okay.
They make wine with it now.
Yeah.
They make wine with it now. Hey, is there any chance we could get that German coach on here? Everybody's thinking they want to meet this German coach.
There's only one way that German coach will come on this
Free hand sanitizer, apparently.
No, if he's insane.
We can do the show from the woods.
We can do it in the woods. If he runs by, he can answer a question.
All right, I got things to do. That's it for this episode of Soccerheads New England. We'll be back next week. Hope everybody has a happy holiday, Merry Christmas. We'd like to thank our sponsor, financial advisor Rick Spencer. And don't forget, for fundraising, the Soccerheads Experience. Really easy, just soccerheadsnewengland@gmail.com. That email goes directly to Jim Ruberti. He'll tell you all about it. Bryant Nardizzi, thanks for coming in. Good luck, continued luck with your career.
Thank you for having me.